The last 3 years, we spent roughly 30 million on our videos.
You guys are the second biggest creator in the United States after MrBeast.
In the last 9 months, we've grown like 80 to 90 million subscribers.
There's a lot of things people don't know about us. Our family didn't know that we were homeless. I just didn't want to stress them out more.
Were tensions high after you made that fake robbery video?
We immediately got demonetized. They really wanted to make an example out of YouTubers. Definitely paid a price for it.
Why not address it?
I don't know if I should even say this.
Creators have claimed you guys have stolen ideas. You guys used to be part of Brent Rivera's creator group. What cut did they take of your revenue?
The money we were splitting just didn't make sense.
Can you share your AdSense? Oh my God.
We're averaging close to 100 million views per video.
What was the biggest disagreement you guys have gotten into?
I had people in my ear telling me, hey, your brother's freaking crazy. A lot of people don't know about her background, but
I cannot believe that thousands of creators have already gotten our free YouTube hack pack with all my best templates, tools, and tips to grow on YouTube today. And you could get it as well if you go to ythackpack.com. Basically, it's everything that I've learned from my interviews with top creators to my 5 years working inside YouTube before that. So you'll get my 100 viral video ideas playbook with ideas for any niche, my 10 intro templates to improve your hooks with fill-in-the-blank templates, literally the thumbnail templates that I've used to get millions of views on this channel. And if you sign up within the next 2 weeks, I'll be picking a few of you to redesign your thumbnails by hand, just like I did for this creator. And if you've already gotten our hack packs in the past or joined our newsletter, then just keep an eye out on our next email to submit. And if you're seeing this afterwards, don't worry, we're doing a ton more giveaways soon. So again, go to the link in the description below, ythackpack.com, or check out the QR code to get it all for free. And now back to the video. All right, boys, I am so excited to be here. Are you guys wearing tuxedos because this is your first podcast interview? Like, what's the deal with the Men's Warehouse getup here, guys?
yeah, so this is our first podcast ever, and we just honestly wanted to dress for the occasion.
Wow. Dude, I'm usually the one who's overdressed, so I'm excited to get into it. I have a lot of questions, but before that, I mean, we've been setting up here, and I've seen 2 donkeys, 2 pigs, like a Lambo outside. Just give me some basic numbers. How much do you guys purchase this mansion for, where you film a ton of your YouTube videos?
Yeah. I think you're the financial guy here, Alex. Yeah, so we purchased this mansion for $9.4 million.
Wow.
And since then, we've put over $5 million in renovations in this mansion. Yeah, I mean, we love this house. It's basically the perfect, I wouldn't really call it a house. It's more like a warehouse, right? Like we have our guys work out of here. Obviously, we have 2 rooms in this house as well. We film, I feel like it's just a perfect fit for our videos, right? It's an open canvas. It's obviously has a home feel to it, but it's also like a really nice aesthetic warehouse where we can set deck depending on the type of video that we're doing. So overall, we think it's just like the perfect home for the style of videos that we film.
And this place has a ton of history. Like the Ace family used to live here, right?
Yes.
Before this.
Yes.
You guys bought it from them, or how did that go?
No. We bought it from the bank. The bank. It was a foreclosure. Yeah, foreclosure. Yeah. They combined. So this is originally this lot was originally intended for 3 homes, and this house is actually combined from 2 homes. So there's a home on this side and home on that side, and they combined this space we're in right now was kind of how they combined the 2 homes together. So into one giant mega mansion, and pretty much this would technically be the biggest and most expensive home in Woodland Hills history. Just a fun fact.
This
home. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. But it was done illegally. So it's just a little bit of history behind the house. So yeah. We actually don't live here. We have our own separate homes. We have 2 separate homes. Because there's no hot water.
Still no hot
really?
water here. Yeah.
Wow.
No hot water, no heat. So we have our own separate homes 15 minutes away. We just come up here for work.
$14 million house with all the renovations, but it's not where you guys live.
Yeah. I mean, it's been 3 years almost since we purchased this home and haven't been able to move in yet.
Well, I got to say, the thing that fascinated me most of all this was actually the editing room. I walked in there earlier. It's there's 7 videos being worked on at once. I saw a short, I saw a long form, It's just I want to talk about the videos because you guys obviously have, over 110 million subscribers. I pulled up the YouTube 2024 trends report, and you guys are listed as the second biggest creator in the United States. It's wild. Behind only MrBeast, ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Whoa.
At number 3, and Mark Rober at number 8.
Whoa.
You guys haven't seen
No.
This is the 2024 YouTube Trends Report. You guys are also the second most watched creator in the UK and Indonesia, number 3 in Mexico, number 7 in India. You're only 26 years old. which is wild. So I want to ask.
No, it's hilarious because it's like, yeah, like keep adding to the list. It's just good. Music to my. No, I'm joking.
Well, yeah, well, there's a lot of like nuance in that too. But I was studying up about your past. Like, you guys were homeless. You slept in your car. You were showering at the gym. You were sampling at Costco.
Yes.
How did you go from that to this?
Yeah. So when we first started, we were in college, and we were obviously, our mom is Asian, and every Asian parent wants their kid to be a doctor, which is what originally we were in school for. And I just saw like the life that a lot of my friends who were a little older, the life that they were living, along with my mom. And me personally, like I had a dream that I wanted to do YouTube. I wanted to entertain, and I was like, why not? Like, why can't I do this? So obviously we didn't have the support of our parents when we first moved out here by ourselves. So we were pretty much we drove out here on a car, and we just wanted to chase our dreams, right? And it was just me and him. We were living in our car. We were trying to figure it out on Instagram. We originally started out on Instagram, grew to around 100K, which obviously Instagram doesn't pay anything, right? Our goal was to transition all of that to YouTube. And just starting out, like I said, we didn't have a place to live. We slept in a car, didn't have a place to shower. So we would obviously have to shower in like public gyms. We would sample at Costco. We would kind of sneak in and just be like, oh, hey, I'm here to get my eye checked, picking up a prescription. Walk in, steal samples. We'd even like put on different outfits, hoodies. If we like, you can't go back for like 2-3 samples where, I mean, you technically can, but it gets suspicious.
Yeah.
So we would kind of do that to kind of get by. And I remember our first ever YouTube video that did really well for us. It was What It's Like to Be a Twin. And we were finally able to get an Airbnb after that. So we finally had a place to call home, a place to go home to at night, shower. And from there, ever since we had our own, like, place to work out of, we were finally able to just massively scale up from there. So we were homeless for a year and a half. And then after we got our first Airbnb, within months, we got our first apartment. A few months after the apartment, we got our first house that we filmed a lot of our videos in. And fast forward 6-7 years, we're here. So,
and was that primarily AdSense money that was funding?
Oh yeah, all AdSense, all AdSense money. It was every single. I don't think we've ever made a dime from Instagram or TikTok. Everything has come from YouTube. So we're just super grateful to be able to do what we love, which is YouTube. So
I was trying to understand your creative process by talking to a lot of the creators who have collaborated with you, like Jordan Matter. And he said that something along the lines of, the Stokes Twins are the best at finding what's popular across all of YouTube and adapting it. He said that about you guys. And so I want to break that into two parts, finding what's popular and then adapting it. How do you guys go about finding trends on YouTube or ideas that you're like, that'd be interesting for us to make a video about?
Yeah, so I have an account on YouTube where I'm just, obviously I have like 6 different accounts. One is like where I watch sports, another account where I just watch games, and obviously one account where I just only keep up with like watch YouTube videos, keep up with like other creators. So from there, I'm kind of, my homepage, I'm really able to see like what YouTube is recommending me, right? Where YouTube is kind of serving me up, hey, this is what I think you'll watch, where I'm one of my own viewers, right? So from there, I'm able to see, okay, wow, this video did amazing for this creator, right? They typically average 100,000 views, or this one has 1 million views in a day, which is a huge outlier, obviously. So from there, I'm able to kind of look at it and be like, okay, is that something that we can do? We can't, it honestly depends on the topic, but I can just throw you out secret rooms, right?
Yeah. Which is, for people who don't know, like, it's a huge trend, building secret rooms in your house.
People were doing just secret rooms. And I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way to combine this, right? Where it's, we saw secret rooms being built. No one really incorporating like the hide and seek aspect, a part of it. So we were able to kind of just see a video that was really popular. And we also know hide and seek is really popular at the time as well. The camouflage hide and seek was a huge trend. So we just combined it all into one giant video and really just make it a 2-part viral video as opposed to a 1-part viral video. You're coming for the secret rooms, but you're also getting the secret room along with this huge spectacle of a search as well.
I'm curious, like, with all that said, like, where's the line between remixing ideas and stealing them? Because a lot of folks, like creators have like claimed you guys have stolen ideas. Specifically, I want to share this printout because, creators have claimed that you've stolen their content. I pulled a video from MrBeast that you guys later created a very similar thumbnail to, a thumbnail from Eric where he was busting myths. You guys made a similar thumbnail, and then thumbnails from Ryan Trahan, FaZe Rug, Brent Rivera that you guys used as well. What's that line between adapting and remixing content and stealing or copying them, as creators have suggested?
Yeah, this definitely came from a time where we were very new to YouTube. I believe that some of these examples are when we were first starting 5 years ago. And honestly, like we were very, very small. We didn't know that the backlash it would cause. I believe we had a couple 100,000 subscribers for some of these. And we had a friend who would do in-house. This is at the time we were demonetizing YouTube. Yeah. So we were just really trying not to get kicked out of our apartment, trying to save costs on where we could. And he would do our thumbnails for free. And I would be like, hey, like we just did a last to leave Tesla video. Can you just find a thumbnail out there and create something? And he would just pretty much throw our faces on other people's faces, or just put us in the same background, or almost make it a little too similar. We had no clue like the long-term harm in our reputation it would cause. We thought it was just a couple 100,000 views. The creators themselves won't even notice. We were scrapping to get by. And, you know, looking back at it now, like it harms you as a creator, your reputation as a creator, and it also harms the video performance. Because with these thumbnails, they're so similar to the original one that's already been seen by millions of people, where when they see such a similar version, they're not going to click on it. I believe this thumbnail right here has like a 2 or 3% click-through rate. We see this at the time where, hey, you know, we're new to YouTube, but oh my God, this is a thumbnail that everyone is doing. Yeah. And if we want this trend to be recognizable, we have to do the same thumbnail. Not knowing that viewers are going to see it as, hey, it's the same video, we're not going to click on it. Yeah. This thumbnail here had a 2 or 3% click-through rate. Our lowest one is like 5-6% after that. So it not only harms you as a creator, your reputation, but it also harms the video performance over time. And you're also like pissing off a bunch of other creators as well. Because, yeah, I mean, this is...
Is there a story there? Was there a punch in the gut or a wake-up call? Like,
one day I woke up, saw a tweet that, hey, the Stokes Twins copy my thumbnail. And I was like, oh no, like, how did they even see it? The video only has like 100K views.
Who's that tweet from?
It was from FaZe Rug.
FaZe Rug, yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, I was like, oh my God, like people clearly don't like this, right? You know, and we see thumbnails being similar on YouTube, but not to the point where they're copy and pasted. Given there are examples where like other creators do, like there's probably examples out there where other people do copy and paste at the time as well. But, you know, seeing us get directly targeted by that, and we're just starting out, I'm like, oh my God, like this sucks. Like we're just getting our name out there. We're kind of getting dragged through the mud. We're just trying to make it out as creators, and it kind of fucks our reputation. So from there was like a really wake up call, right? We were like, okay, like when you do stuff like this, it is going to get out that you do stuff like this. You develop a reputation that you're just a copycat creator, right? Given that the content inside is completely different for like pretty much all of these concepts, when they see that, they just assume you copy everything, right? You're just known as the copycat creator, when obviously, not saying it's okay. It's not okay to copy a thumbnail like this, copy and paste. But even if the thumbnail is just a copy and paste, people are going to assume that everything you do is copy and paste. So it was horrible. We pissed off a lot of creators, and I believe this one got taken down by Eric. He copyright striked the video. It was taken down for 28 days, and we were told that he may even take it to court. So we were like, oh my God, like, okay, like we immediately changed the thumbnail on it when it got reinstated, and views actually jumped up like crazy. So I was like, oh my God, like it's actually way better and way more. Yeah. It's actually way better and way more innovative to not do this. And it was just like a wake up call for us, right? We're like, okay, this is very, very dumb to do. This is bad, harming us reputation. This is harming, you know, the potential views the video could get, and overall just harming our business as creators, right? And, you know, you don't want to be that creator that everyone like has a certain stigma about, where you're like, okay, this person is just known for doing this, or they're only where they are because they copied. And that's something that we had to learn the hard way, unfortunately, about the copy pasting thumbnails. And now we spend, I want to say I spend like 6 hours on just coming up with like original sketches on thumbnails. We're like, okay, what is the most creative thumbnail out there that I know the viewer click on, not, oh, what had they seen and what has worked?
Yeah.
What is something that's immediately going to grab the viewer's attention? We come up with like 10 sketches of thumbnails. And from there, I'll pick like, okay, this thumbnail immediately grabs my attention. And I'm going to pick the top 5 for my thumbnail artist to do. So now we have an actual thumbnail artist. We actually spend time doing the sketches, and the results just kind of speak for themselves.
I did want to talk about the video of it, because beyond the thumbnails, like in that Airac video, there were moments of it where, you know, he was like busting a myth where it was like him like going down with bed sheets from a second floor of a room. You guys did something similar. At that point, you guys had about 4 million subscribers.
It's a myth that you can use bed sheets as a rope to escape your bedroom. Guys, please don't do this at home. This is a terrible idea. Oh, it's working.
You can climb out a window using only bed sheets.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's working. It is impossible to ride a bike underwater.
Oh my god, dude, he's doing it.
It is impossible to ride a bike underwater.
It's working!
Of course, like our thought process from now to 5 years ago has changed so much. And it's just at the time, I just know it's more so, it's definitely not, okay, pick up a camera. What are we doing? Let's just copy and paste. The intention behind doing that was more so, hey, this scene is so funny. I'm going to do this because now when I watch it back, I'm laughing as well. And it makes this whole video process, if I'm enjoying what I'm doing, I'm laughing at it. That's more so what I was focused on, rather than the, hey, this is copy and pasted from another creator. From there, and like a bunch of other videos, it's just like moving forward from like fast forward 5 years. It's like the thought process, everything now is just complete like 180. And it's just having moments like that where you can really learn from your mistakes. Just really, I think key moments like that was just super important for us to like grow from and evolve and truly become like where we are today.
Now on the flip side, like people like take a lot of your ideas. Like I was watching a few shorts back to back. You guys had this short where you're drawing different circles and trying to figure out the path. And then there's other videos where it's come out afterwards that people are replicating the exact setup.
It's impossible to solve this puzzle from start to finish.
Is it possible to solve this puzzle from start to finish?
The only rule is you can't trace over any of the lines. You're not allowed to do that. What?
The only rule is you can't trace over the line. No, you can't draw over the other line.
To show you guys how to do it, you have to subscribe.
Wait, create a new account right now and subscribe.
Subscribe right now.
If I get this, everybody has to subscribe. Bro, wait, he has it. Oh, no way.
Are there videos that like have come out since you guys originated the idea that really stick out to you, or like you kind of are just moving on to the next video?
Yeah, I mean, like it's kind of funny because it's like a full circle. Like we originally would copy like other people's like video ideas or their thumbnails, and obviously that's not something that we do anymore. If we see something, we try to elevate and make it completely different. We try to put like combine two trends into one, where it's like, hey, you're coming here for the ultimate viewing experience. So like, yeah, sometimes I'll scroll through shorts, my video will pop up, and then just because like I'm on that account, right? That I have that custom account where like it registers me as a fan. So I'm able to see like what content that YouTube thinks me as a Stokes fan would want to see, or like in my niche, right? The whole creator ecosystem that makes similar content to what we make. So from there, it'll serve me one of my shorts, and then right underneath that would be a copy and paste of our shorts. And I'll be like, oh my God, like this is like identical to ours, down to like the amount of people in the video, the exact same voiceover, the exact same like coloration. And it's like, you know, I don't really let it bother me. And it does happen pretty frequently nowadays, but I just kind of more so view it as like, oh my God, like it's funny how it's like full circle that happens now. And you know, there's no need for us to really, it would almost be hypocritical for me to call them out when I used to do that starting out. So there's no hard feelings on anyone who does it. I understand from their shoes what they're trying to do. They're, you know, just trying to make a YouTube video, trying to make it happen. And, you know, they're trying to live out their dreams. So I'm not going to like call anyone out on that or anything. So
do you think there's a reason why remixing happens more on YouTube like than like other platforms, or do you find that it happens more on TikTok or Instagram? I'm curious because like part of it is also, it's like, our content is so reactionary, whether it's literally a react like format where you're watching something else and reacting back to it, or you're like making a video about Squid Game, which was popular on Netflix, and then we have all of our different adaptations to it. Like, do you think there's something about YouTube that like this happens way more?
Yeah, I
than-
think it's sometimes back to like the culture, right? Like it's Squid Game that almost became like a small part of like people's culture for like, it was just everywhere for me, right? Where it's like it's unavoidable. People are saying it in school, like, certain things, and you see like a coin phrase that's from that show, and everyone's saying it as like a popular phrase. And it's just kind of like, it's one of those things where it kind of, when Hunger Games was huge, that was a huge thing. When a song is huge, people are singing it. And when a show is huge, people want to see more of it, right? They're dying to see season 2, where they're also dying to see any recreation of it as well. Back when dancing was a huge trend on TikTok, right? Like I would see like 100 of the same dances from like one creator, where it's like, I think like that was a huge thing on TikTok. We're like, oh, you didn't give me dance credits on this. And it's like, well, not with us, because we didn't. I believe we made 1 or 2 dances, and I can't dance. I can't dance. I cannot dance. Don't put anything of us dancing. But no, it was a lot of creators were doing dances. A lot of people weren't giving credits. Even the biggest creators, like they would be like, oh, I didn't know like where this dance credit came from, so I can't credit you if I don't know where it comes from. Right. So that's kind of like, it's more of like a culture thing, right? Like you're dancing to your favorite song, and then someone makes up a dance that's popular and you dance to it. And that doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, you're copying a person. It's, it's just more of like the culture, more of like what people do.
I also think like oftentimes what the origin of your inspiration is, and you look at it and you could tell like who's adapting there. But sometimes like with dance moves, you don't know where it came from, or you see like a format or like a game that people are playing in a short, and people may not realize where it came from. So it's like interesting that it's such a, and everyone's kind of on this hamster wheel to make more content, pay their bills. I think you guys sharing the other side of that is fascinating, because most people don't think about that. Take me through like, what's the average cost of a Stokes Twins video?
I would say the average cost is around 500,000. Yeah, like 500,000.
No, you're kidding me. No, come on.
Oh no, I'm kidding. No,
Okay, so imagine getting over 50 million views on a video you uploaded but didn't edit at all. That's exactly what Jubilee did by using Opus Clip, and it's a tool that I want to give to you guys for free. And this is how it works. All you have to do is copy and paste a link from your YouTube or even your Google Drive, Loom, Riverside, and boom, Opus automatically analyzes the best parts from that video to turn it into a bunch of clips for you. And better yet, it adds captions, suggests a title, a description that fit your brand, and automatically reframes your video so it looks good vertically so you could upload it immediately. And let's say you're a perfectionist like me, don't worry. Opus also lets you export your clips to Adobe Premiere if you want to make any final touches. It's used by creators and brands of all sizes, from those just starting out to some of the biggest channels out there like Jubilee. So just go to this link below or click on the QR code to get 3 months free, because Opus is giving me a deal that they're not putting anywhere else. This link is the only one that will give you full access to the Opus Pro plan for 3 months, so you can clip as many of your videos as you want, no strings attached. So click the link below in the description or click the QR code, and now back to the video.
I would say it's definitely all under like 50,000. We definitely try to keep it under 50,000. Sometimes we go over, but when it comes to like, sometimes we can get it around like 20 to 30 or 40, but it just depends on like the video's needs and whatnot. But we don't want to be like super wasteful, and just, if there's something we can do, I'd rather optimize it more so in like the story versus like, getting something super expensive that I feel like want to add a ton to the video.
Yeah. What's your most expensive video you guys have ever made?
Well, we did a video where we spent $1 million in 24 hours. We got like 5 of our friends, told them, hey, you can buy whatever you want. And we kind of had things planned for them where like, we know Tanner is a huge like basketball Lakers fan, and we got him courtside tickets to go see, NBA game. That's part of the segment. Someone else, for example, like Sean, we really needed something that was going to get to that million mark. So we're like, hey, like, do you have any like cars that you like and whatnot? And we kind of, got him the Lamborghini, which was around, I believe, like 600 something thousand. So that took up over half of like, the budget. And with everyone else, a lot of our friends also share like the same struggles like we did when we came up. Didn't really have like a place where they could go home to every night, or they were kind of couch hopping as well. So 2 of the friends we got them like a year lease for like apartments and whatnot, and kind of just covered those costs for them. And I believe in that video we spent around 1.1 million. But so we definitely went a little bit over. But yeah, that was the video where our most expensive video, but it's just in terms of buying things.
That was our first really, really good year. And, you know, our team was very, very small. We wanted to kind of give back to our team, make them feel like, hey, like thank you for being part of this journey. The same struggles that we went through, we wouldn't wish that on anyone. So we just really want to take care of our team. You know, I really believe in taking care of your team, your employees. So we kind of just went out of the way, learn what their struggles were, learn what they were trying to do, what they wanted. And we pretty much just, just made sure that no one, if we had the power to do that of our team, we didn't want anyone to go through that struggle. So a lot of people, we got them like homes. Some of them, we got them like 2-year leases to apartments and gave them a bunch of cash.
A few things that obviously didn't make the video as well, where we're like, hey, like, I don't want to like show everything, you know, like we do a lot of these things where it's off camera. That was the one video where I'm like, I felt really bad about like,
outing them. Like
not even outing, but it's more so like, I feel like the narrative, I wouldn't want people to think, hey, we did it because of the cameras. If anything, I wish we could have done it without the cameras. I feel like it kind of defeats the purpose sometimes. So that was the one video where like that's originally why I didn't really want to talk about it, because I feel like to me sometimes where it's like a trade-off where it's, hey, if you didn't record it, it didn't happen, versus, hey, you're only doing it because it's for the cameras. So it's just, that was one of the things that I kind of struggle with. So of course there's a lot of things that happens off camera that we don't really like record or capture, because there's just no reason to do that, in my opinion. It's between me and this person, not for the whole internet to see.
Yeah, it was a beautiful video. How big is your team today?
Today, shoot, if you're asking us like 2 months ago, we had a team of like 7 people, six full-time people, one like part-time person. And this year, one of the things that we wanted to do was scale up a lot, free up more of my time into being into videos and really script writing and just focusing on like bigger things, right? Like one of our goals is to expand to China, and like we brought on 6 new people, and I'm just training each day of the week. I'll dedicate like a few hours to them, train them exactly on my thought process. Like, hey, like the reason why I drive to this location and do this is because I need to know how the location looks like. If we're building this in this location, we can't build it in this way because this is where the sun comes in from.
What's an exact example of that?
Well,
or something that
like
happened recently.
So like, let's say we're building like a slippery staircase, right? And I have to go to the location. It's one of the bits in our videos where we're like trying to climb a slippery staircase. And I'm like, okay, it needs to be in this location. It can't be towards this way because look at where the sun's coming from. It's going to look horrible when we film. It's just going to backlight. Won't be able to see anyone's face because it's going to be horribly backlit. Can't do this angle either because it's going to have horrible shadows in it. And, you know, just kind of like decision making on like, hey, and here's why we're going to do it on this day. Here's why we're going to have this person work on it instead. And just really, really training. Like we have people who live here as well with us right now that we're like training up. And I just think it's essential for them to be, I wouldn't say like around us 24/7, but like around us anytime we are working.
Yeah.
And it's just more so because like initially, this is a really, really funny story. Initially, like he didn't want to do social media. Really? And for the first, I had to convince him, like he thought I was crazy. Like we were in college. I was like, hey, I think we can do this. And he's like, no, you got to be realistic, man. Like everyone's dream is to be a famous movie star. This is just another one of those crazy dreams. And it took a lot of convincing, and it sucked that the first year and a half we were homeless. He was like, man, this sucks. And I was like, hey, I promise you we're going to figure this out. And it's amazing that we were finally able to figure it out. But for the first 3 years, I just told him, hey, you don't need to worry about anything. I got everything under control. I'm going to like make sure that like I'm going to film our content. I'm going to take our pictures. I'm going to edit all of our pictures. I'm going to edit all of our content. I'm going to, I'm going to direct it. I'm going to produce it. I'm going to make sure everything, you'd only have to show up as talent. So the first 3-4 years, that was the case.
Wow.
And over the last 2 years, I want to say that's when he finally started picking it up. And he's been really, really able to like, obviously it's crazy because he is my clone, right? So like he's able to take off a lot of the times when I'm not, we have different shifts. I go to sleep really late, making sure the video's up and it's, ready to be posted. Yeah. He wakes up early, meets with the team, has them go through this. I go in and I come in and I make like
okay, we're not going to be able to do this because of this, or here's how we can improve it. So he gets a lot of the base work done, but it's really, really amazing how like I was able to train him up indirectly. So it's like, okay, like I can just find like multiple people, 6 other people in every aspect, directing, filming, another talent, another producer, an editor, just pretty much every single aspect that we're heavily involved in, train them up and free up my time. Because if he was able to do it, I'm sure I can find someone who seems like the perfect candidate that I get along with, that is very smart, that is hardworking, that wants it as well, who's going to be here long term. Found those people over the last few months, and those people are here every single day, kind of just understanding my thought process. And, you know, they're pretty much mini versions of us that's able to make decisions and kind of just really, really freeing up my time. And that's one of the things that I want to do this year, so we can focus on like other big projects that we have.
Yeah, I feel that on such a deep level because, you know, as we're growing our team, I'm realizing one-to-one meetings are not enough to try to train new people. Like shadowing and them spending time, because like I'll even get questions like, it's like, wait, what, John, why did you make this decision, or why did you do that? And it's only because, you know, by spending time around in those down moments that you could do that. I did want to ask though, why not just go solo?
Why not just go solo?
Yeah, why didn't you just go on your own, like and not be the twins, just be.
As an identical twin, I even went to I had opportunities to go, like I had a full ride to go to multiple like super good colleges, even in Ivy League as well. And I just didn't want to be away from him. Like, you know, we're twin brothers. Like we're pretty much like bonded together since birth. We've never spent more than a day apart. And the first time that happened was, I think 4 years ago on our birthday. We finally spent a day apart. Yeah, his ex-girlfriend, they were, you know, they went somewhere, and I was, oh my God, it's our first day that we're spending apart from each other. So we were kind of inseparable. I didn't want to do it without him. And I knew that I couldn't do it myself. I needed that support. I knew it was going to be a struggle. And unfortunately, I dragged him into it with me in the beginning, but I definitely wouldn't have been able to do it without him. So I just needed that like person that was the closest to me to help me do what we do.
That's beautiful. How did you feel during those early years? Do you think he was crazy?
Well, it's I have to say, because right before social media, his obsession was us making it into the NBA.
Really?
So we were just, you know, doing all these basketball training programs, jump manual programs, you know, and just like
Together,
vigorously
together,
training. Yes.
Yeah.
And then I just knew that dream wasn't going to be, you know, super realistic. And then I thought this was another one of his crazy endeavors. So I was like, hey, like, I get like, you know, we could probably make a honest living out of it, but hey, like, why not just do what's safe? And, you know, we're already 2 years in college, and the goal is to be doctors, right? And I had people in my ear too tell me, hey, like, your brother's freaking crazy. Like, don't do what he's doing. Just play it safe and do this and this. And I'm always like the safe person kind of guy. And he's definitely the one. He's like, hey, like, he's the risky kind, and he wants to take risks, try new things. So yeah, that was like the only thing I would say that was a little bit different about us. And yeah, so I just didn't think it was everything we've accomplished, everything that's happened. I wouldn't have imagined, you know, in a million years, like in my wildest dreams, that we would have come this far and achieved all this. It's really, we don't really spend as much time talking and looking back and reflecting how we were able to do what we did. Some of our favorite things, like probably our favorite thing growing up back then, like just picking up a camera, recording random stuff, just beating each other up on a trampoline, things like that, goofy moments, and just being able to actually turn that, monetize that, and make that into like a full-time job, and just be able to make videos on the internet, you know, and create this whole business out of it. It's kind of wild, but yeah.
How do you guys divide up responsibilities now?
Well, I do everything now.
He likes to say that.
Picking up the slack.
He likes to say that. I got a little sick the last few weeks, so he's like, "Oh, you don't do anything anymore." In the beginning, you did, but now you don't. Yeah. So I would definitely say, like, we literally, like, if he's awake, we have like a list of things that we know to get done with each other. We like, one of the things is like every day I try to get some training in. Right, I'm trying to train up like filmers as well, because like, you know, I can't. The reason why I'm not in a lot of scenes is because like I'm behind a camera filming and directing. I trust no one but myself.
So
You're literally holding the
oh,
camera.
I'm holding the camera, and then like I'll like set it on a tripod and just run into the scene, or like have one of my friends hold it and be like, hey, just hold it like this. If I move, please follow the camera. I'm like, if I'm pointing at this moss wall, whip it to the moss wall, and like they don't do it. I'm like, dude, like if I'm pointing at something, you know that you should whip it to that. So yeah, now I spend a good amount of my day just like training up people, along with like, you know, other things, right, to prepare for, where it's like, hey, we're going to work on a script from this and this time. We're going to work on a thumbnail from this to this time. We're going to take the thumbnail at this time. We're going to do video notes at this time. We're going to do voiceovers at this time. We're going to film these 5 videos the next day, these 5 shorts. We're going to film our long form video over the weekend. And we still need to go to this location and check it out to see if this is the right location for it. I'm going to hop on the phone with the contractor, tell them, hey, these are the tools that I'm going to need to build my video. And then I'm going to run through the team of like the script, like, hey guys, this is your role in the video. This is your lines here. This is what we're doing. Depends on the video, honestly. Right. But yeah, we have a list of huge responsibilities. And like, I'm not just saying this, like we can pretty much read each other's minds. Like we know exactly what to do without telling each other. So like we have a notes thing where we kind of go through and have like a little checklist, but we technically don't need it. Yeah. Like, you know, he goes through and runs people through, and if I see he's already taking care of the video, I'm going to run through, take care of production. So it's amazing having that. And I'm like, okay, let me get a few more of those to kind of where we only have to do one thing, and then I can finally maybe play basketball more, maybe make the NBA. That dream's not over.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was like 6'8", but
what was the biggest disagreement you guys have gotten into?
disagreement?
Yeah.
We don't. I don't think
You guys don't disagree.
I don't think
No,
we've
come
ever.
on.
We've never gotten into a fight before. Like actually,
No,
yeah.
come on.
Never
You guys
got
are
into
brothers.
never got into a fist fight
I
before.
don't
The
buy that.
worst that happens is on the basketball court. I'm like, why'd you shoot that 3? I was open. Like that is the worst that's ever happened.
There's never been a disagreement about the creative direction of a video?
No.
I mean, we get really, you know, when we talk, like I try not to ever yell. I don't think I've ever yelled or cussed or like, well, of course I cuss, but like I'm not gonna cuss at someone and just kind of yell at the top of my lungs. I think that's maybe happened like once or twice my entire life, but I really try to make it a rule to never get to that point, because I always think there's just, if the goal is to get something done, you don't, screaming versus not screaming, an argument isn't going to change the outcome.
Yeah.
So that's just the way I always think that I try to be more patient, you know, on days where he's not as, when I know he's in that mood and he's groggy, he's not feeling well, I know to not like step on his toes. I know to, hey, it's okay. Like, don't worry about it. I'll give him his space. I'll go and figure it out without him. And I think, so I genuinely mean we don't really ever fight and ever, yeah, of course we have small disagreements, or hey, like, why this, why that? Hey, Alex, come on. Like you're not focusing right now. Let's come over here. What's taking you so long? But it's never like, what the F, like, are you doing? You know?
Yeah, it's funny because we've never been into a fight with each other, never been in a fight in real life ever either. So we're just very, very non-confrontational to each other.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because everyone thinks like we always fight. They're like, oh, you're twins, you have to fight. I fought with my sibling. And I'm like, no, like the worst we've done is just like, maybe I'll just call him a dumbass on a basketball court for like, the worst has ever gotten, honestly, is on the basketball court where he does something dumb.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's just like a thing or two, like, why'd you do that?
That's real.
So,
Wow. Yeah.
it's funny.
I was interviewing Dude Perfect, and even they talked about disagreements they had. And like, they're 5 guys who aren't related, but they've spent so much time together that they are like brothers. You guys are literally brothers. And yeah, it's interesting to hear. I'm wondering, were tensions high after you made that fake robbery video? Like, can you tell me about that? Because you guys have like done a lot and turned things around since then. Like, tell me about the fake robbery video. You guys got arrested, is that right? And like tell me about like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
video.
So
wait, Alex.
Yeah.
I guess, what do you think happened? You said you
I
guys
would
got
love,
arrested.
I would love to
your
hear like what
narrative.
you think happened. And we have not been able to talk about it.
Yeah.
It was one of the things that was able to get us remonetized.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure if us talking about it could get us demonetized.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but what, like, I'd love to hear from your perspective. Like, what do you think happened? We'll tell you exactly what happened.
Yeah, it seemed like you guys like faked a robbery. The police got involved. You guys got taken in. Then YouTube got involved, and then they demonetized your channel. But set the record straight. Like, tell me if I'm wrong there in that recollection, or if there's something that the public doesn't know.
Yeah, well,
right off the bat, nothing happened until 2 years later, and there wasn't an arrest or anything. We got off with a warning because we explained how. So it's funny because I called a week before the Irvine Police Department how, hey, we're gonna be doing this video where we're kind of just walking up to people in like ski mask or like just asking them directions for the bank. And once they tell us the directions, as we're having this mid conversation, I'll be putting on a ski mask and just walking away. After they give me the directions, I'll come back like 2-3 minutes later with a duffel bag full of fake money and try to give them their share, just to get a reaction, right? Yeah. That was the main premise of the prank, and I thought it would be super helpful and to kind of think ahead and be like, hey, like maybe someone could call the cops over this. So I called the Irvine Police Department the week before. I called them the day before and the day of to let them know, hey, we're shooting this prank on this day. And
you proactively reach out to
yes,
police.
yeah,
we even talked to the
and
chief.
I spoke
we
to
talked
a
to
dispatcher.
We talked to the campus police because we also shot it at University of Irvine. They have their own police department there as well. We talked to them, talked to beforehand, just because we've seen the video online multiple times, and they call like anytime the cops like come in, they're like, oh yeah, hey, you're the guy that we received the call on, and I was like, oh, like we should probably call too. So like, yeah, it's a no brainer to like call so they don't. They don't waste their resources, waste their time. And that's pretty much what we did. We even called like during the pranks, like, hey, we're still going on. We said it was going to be for an hour, but it's going to be about 2 hours. Oh yeah, of course. Talking to multiple people about
like
it.
On the phone with the police.
On the phone with the police. With the non-emergency, yes. Non-emergency number, talking to the police. And we're not on the phone with 911. That's dispatch. We're on the phone with the actual police department, their office, talking to multiple people. And, we have the whole like body cam of even the calls as well, just to keep us protected. And pretty much we were, like I said, I would go to bus stops where it made sense for the people to still be there a few minutes later and just kind of mess with them. Like he said, I would go up to them and be like, hey, where's the nearest bank at? And I'm in full black, right? And
with
then
a ski mask.
Not a ski mask yet. So like I think there's one. And as I'm like listening in on your conversation where the nearest bank is, I'm like putting on my gloves. And he's like, why is this person putting on gloves? And they're making super funny faces. Yeah, it's right down there. All right. And I'll be like, all right, throw on my mask. Thank you. And they'll be like, wait, did I just give a guy directions to the bank to rob the bank? So I would walk down the street, like just maybe like 50 feet away, come back 3 minutes later with a duffel bag, all calm, and be like, hey, would have never been able to do it without you. Here's your share. No, man, I don't want any of that. Like, and some of them would know it was a joke. It was like very lighthearted. Like point to the camera too. And let them know. Be like, and some of the, hey, I know you're recording, man. I see the cameraman up there. I'm like, dang it. Like, but yeah, where it got out of hand was it was outside of our apartment. And I just want to preface this by saying we were never near a bank at all. Never even near a bank. The nearest bank was, I believe, 2.3 miles away.
There wasn't that scene where you guys were going down the stairs?
That's outside the community center at the college. Yeah, that's not a bank. That's a lecture hall. That clip was
because that was taken by the news.
Yeah, that's the lecture hall where we ran down, where it made it look like a bank for the intro shot, so that we're like, okay, what's a good intro? Make it seem like we're actually running out of a bank, like in The Joker making a bank heist. Yeah. So okay, this building looks like a old ancient bank. So it's actually like, I think, the auditorium. So we ran out of the auditorium for that opener shot, clipped together multiple scenes to make it look like that one take. When we did that initial rundown, I don't think there was that many people there, but the second angle, we made it seem like there was a lot of people that were running through because it's a different background. Yeah. So like it was a bunch of clips, like shots clipped together. But regardless, that opener shot was outside the auditorium. Yeah. So the nearest bank was like, I believe from the college was like a few miles away. From our apartment was like 2-something miles away. So we were nowhere near a bank. And like, if it's going to be near a bank, like not only am I not going to do that for my own safety, but also for like other people's safety as well. But yeah, the part that I think a lot of people saw and got upset about was we were outside it was different segments of the prank, right? Like that first segment was, I told you, asking people for directions to the bank. Right. That's the first segment. Second segment, and that's as far as we got to, was we were outside we would call an Uber and run into the Uber with duffel bags outside of our apartment. Right. So we would get these Uber drivers to show up and we would already be running into the car with duffel bags. And we only did it to one Uber driver. We ran in and I was like, go, 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 go. And are you Alan? Yeah, I'm Alan. I gotta go, man. And like, just kind of making it seem like it's an emergency. And he was like, the Uber driver, you could tell he really wasn't messing with a prank. He was like, I don't feel safe. Get out of the car. And I was like, oh man, really? he was like, yeah, please get out.
And you're filming.
Immediately got out of the car.
Yeah.
Did the whole,
Yeah.
we have the whole thing on,
Yeah.
like, it's
Yeah.
recording the whole time. Immediately got out of the car. And what ended up happening was the Newport police responded to it. So
Even though you're in Irvine.
yeah, but we live like next to John Wayne Airport, which is like
Yeah.
2 miles away from Newport as well.
Yeah.
So a different police department responded to it, and they sent out like a patch of like, from my memory, the Newport police got involved in it, and then Irvine police also got involved in it as well, going like, hey, what is this prank? Came up to us and told us, hey, the Uber driver could have been pulled over at gunpoint. So it's a very dangerous prank what you're doing. Also, like, you're putting your life at the line. And pretty much like one of them recognized us and was like, hey, like, I see the videos you guys make. And one of the people was actually the people that we spoke to there as well. So long story short, that was filmed 2 years ago. And then 2 years later, like, we randomly see a press release going like, hey, like, the DA is going to come after the Stokes twins for doing this, robbing a bank. And there were all these headlines that we saw where it was like, I get it's the news. They're like all trying to out clickbait each other. One news station said we went inside a bank, shot it up, and then said it was a prank. We have people saying we pulled the Uber driver, held the Uber driver at gunpoint. And at the end of the day, like, YouTube demonetizes over it all.
Over the press coverage.
Over the press
afterwards.
coverage. We never went,
the-
never approached by the police. The only time we were
Were you
approached by
guys
the
arrested?
No.
No.
We were never approached by the police other than inside the prank when the Newport police showed up. It was like, oh, like, one of them recognized us. Oh, it's you guys. Like, and then one, I believe he was like more of a senior officer. He wasn't part of the call, but he was like, hey, like, can I speak to you candidly? Like, what you're doing is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, you're putting your life at the line. You could be putting other people's life at the line. Like,
And also
what
the
if-
precedent sets for other YouTubers to think that's a piece of content
yes,
that's okay.
yes,
to make.
yes, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just remember seeing that press release. YouTube, we immediately got demonetized from YouTube. They wanted to charge us with kidnapping an Uber driver, which I was like, okay, like, holding the Uber driver hostage. I was like, okay, like, they're never gonna be able to get that. I had the footage, but they really, really wanted that. They really, really wanted that. And YouTube was like, hey, like, that's a felony charge. We're not gonna remonetize you with a felony, like, even as like an alleged felony.
Yeah.
So the only way you can get out of it is it's a misdemeanor. So I was like, hey, I'm innocent. I'm going to take this to trial.
Yeah.
They kept filing motions to like delay it. And after 6 months, I was like,
This is during COVID.
this is during COVID, by the way. Like, this is post-COVID. And we didn't film the prank during COVID. We filmed it it was like, I want to say 7 years ago when we filmed the prank. It was one of our first pranks we ever filmed. And basically, during COVID, every single time they filed a motion, it would push the court date back by like 3 to 6 months. And they just kept doing it repeatedly because they didn't want us to be remonetized on YouTube. Not the DA didn't.
Why would the DA?
They wanted to set an example. The Nelk boys also lived in Irvine, and they were also like doing pranks there as well. Like, they were the whole, like, they even brought the Nelk boys during like the deposition stuff, like, or our lawyer would be like, hey, this guy's after the Nelk boys as well. They want to set an example that Irvine's going to be safe. There's going to be no pranksters in Irvine.
Yeah.
Because Irvine's like, regarded as one of the safest cities in the world. So they wanted to keep that reputation. They wanted to set the precedent. Hey, if you're going to mess around in Irvine, we're going to lay down a law on you. So they really wanted to make an example out of YouTubers. So unfortunately, that happened to be us. But after the motion got filed like 3 different times, we were demonetized for 6 months. I was like, hey, like, if this goes to trial, even though I know we'll be proven innocent, it's going to take 2 years to get to trial. We're not making a dime off of YouTube. We're not making a dime off of Instagram. And that's during the same time period when I had our thumbnail guy, like, just put our face in
everything
another.
was hitting at once.
Everything was hitting at once. So we were like, dang, like, we're just trying to, like, have a little bit of leftover money, trying to cut down on the costs. We even let go, like, one guy because we couldn't afford him because we didn't make a dime at the time. So
AdSense was the main way you guys were making money.
That's the only way we made our money. So I just didn't think it would take that long. So we said, hey, it may make more sense to take a plea deal and not wait 2-3 years when it goes to trial, even though we will win. And it was just kind of sitting there, goes like, but we're pleading guilty to something we didn't do. But we definitely needed the money to like be able to make money again from YouTube because that's our only source of income. So
because taking the plea would mean that the demonetization would be lifted soon.
Yes, because we would plead down to a misdemeanor. That's what they were. I think they've never lost the case, the DA, and he wanted to keep a perfect record. So technically by us pleading guilty, it would mean that he won the case. So basically that's that was their game plan. They wanted to say like, hey, like we gotcha. Anyone else who's gonna do this, same thing is gonna happen to you.
Wow.
And yeah, I guess fast forward, like when we did plead guilty, we had to plead guilty to, I believe it was reporting a false emergency, which isn't what we did. They said that we called the cops to get the cops to show up for the video so the video would seem more epic. We never did that. It's our neighbor called the cops, you know, thinking that, oh, like the Uber driver is doing something weird. There's a sketchy Uber driver
because but you guys
getaway driver.
The getaway driver,
the getaway, but you guys were there with a mask with money.
Yes,
like, he had a reason to be alarmed.
Yes, and we told all these people it was a prank afterwards too. It's not like we tell them and they just like wander off on the end of the day like, oh my god, like did someone just rob a bank? Like we tell these people it's a prank. But yeah, long story short, we pled guilty and we were remonetized on YouTube. But the press there was like a second round of press that was like Stokes Twins plead guilty to robbing a bank. Stokes Twins plead guilty to reporting a false emergency. It's just, you know, these headlines really all trying to like out clickbait each other. But you know, looking back at it, it is a dumb prank to do. But we did take the, you know, proper precautions, you know, like considering other people's safety, our own safety. You know, I believe that parts of the video were harmless, and I believe that parts of the video, like getting into the Uber driver, like it could scare the Uber driver, right? But like as far as going up to someone asking for directions to the bank, like I think that part was like pretty lighthearted, and I just do not like how it was really, really spun out of proportion on us walking inside a bank, shooting it up. Then, you know, there's that whole like before that, there's this whole stigma of like YouTubers, it's a prank, bro. It's just a prank, bro. You can get away with anything, and you know that's definitely not what happened. But at the same time, too, was something very dumb that we did. But yeah, definitely way blown out of proportion. And we definitely paid a price for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, to this day, like, gave us a lot to think about when we were demonetized.
Yeah. Obviously, that like bank robbery prank was dumb. And like, but you're saying like there's nothing else that happened there that like false reporting an emergency. Like you guys
they were saying that we called 911 to get the cops to show up, wasting resources for like, you know, obviously an intro shot of a video where like we're running outside a bank and
which
there's
you're
like
saying you guys were running like out of a university.
That's
and everybody thought it was a bank.
Everyone thought it was a bank for the video. Yeah, and it's what we wanted for the entertainment, right? Like you know, the Joker driving the bus out of the bank, like that's an amazing shot. Right, like, and you see the cops chasing him right after, and it's like, oh wow, that's such a great hook to an opener of a movie. We were trying to recreate that as well, where it's like we're running out of a bank, you know, a fake bank, but obviously, that's what people thought that we were doing. They said that we called the cops to have them show up to the scene when we called the cops to let them know multiple days before, hey, we're doing a prank. This is my full name. This is how we look like. You know, just talk to multiple people about it. Just kind of. So they didn't waste their resources, but unfortunately, that is something we had to plead guilty to. And
why not address it? Because like hearing your side, like when I was trying to research for this interview, like it's all their side. You know, I like everything I found. Like they're taking your clips. Like I know again the context of it and the prank was like, you know, it's like it's a pretty dumb prank. But like hearing you explain it, I have more of an understanding that I didn't. And you guys have such a huge platform. Like why not come out and be like exactly what you said? Like there's more nuance to it.
I really believe in, like,
well, to me, like, I think it's more so like not reliving the past. I think when I'm repeating it, like, I try to move on with my life. Because, like, if I'm just dwelling on the past, I feel like I'm missing, like, the present and the future. And it's just, to me, like, reliving that, it just reminds me of a really crappy time in my life. And I just personally don't like to talk about it. And we're super private people, too.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm just not the kind of person to overshare. I feel like we're creators. We just want to make entertaining videos. And it's just not something I think is like worth like sharing. Even like, there's a lot of things people don't know about us. Right. So that's just, we're super like, honestly, we're very introverted. We're private people. And me, my personal choice was to just not even, you know, like me, like I'm kind of against him sharing this whole story too. Cause like, I'm just kind of reliving everything. It's kind of like, making me feel a little bit like weird. So it's just like I definitely don't like reliving the past, if that makes sense, because it really takes away from my main focus in the future. But of course it's like one of these things where it's like, oh, like why not address it? Because I really
me personally, I don't care if people like, I'm not over here trying to impress like a random neighbor going, oh, so you didn't rob the bank. You want to come in and have coffee? Hell yeah. Now I just made a new friend. Like, I don't really care.
I appreciate you guys even talking about it. Like, I know that's hard. I also think people who haven't heard your side of it are going to think differently about it. I think the more remarkable thing is like how far you guys have come since then, you know, and like what you built and like looking around. Was there a moment after that you're like, okay, things are turning around, like we're really like on the up and up? Like we talked about like that moment.
Yeah, I mean, when we were demonetized, like I feel like the smart thing to do would have been like, hey, let's post on other platforms to make money.
Yeah.
But to us, it wasn't like about making money with YouTube. Like we genuinely love making YouTube videos. Like when I say like we love making videos, we genuinely do. So it's like we just wanted to like keep posting for our audience, and also
even though at that point you weren't making money.
Yeah, well, we weren't making a dime. We consistently still posted a week, and of course we had to scale back on a few things and kind of cut out like, you know, costs and, you know, be more hands-on. And I think that's also what taught us to be a lot more hands-on as well, like every single little part of the way. But no, I definitely think that situation just, it, you know, gave us a lot of perspective, and we kind of like figured out, hey, like, what do we do? Do we still keep posting videos? And, you know, that conversation was had, but I was like, absolutely. Like, we love posting videos. Like, why would we stop? We posted videos when we were like little kids without making any money. Like, I love posting videos. Why would we stop? So, of course, like, you know, it was never about the money to us. It was more so like the passion of making videos. And that's just, I just didn't want that to stop like at all. So that was definitely something that I remembered and just wanted to like keep doing.
Or tell me about that day where you guys were remonetized again and like thinking about like, you know, using that money to help build a team and like almost like the next chapter of the Stokes Twins. Like how were you guys thinking about that after you got your monetization back? And
I mean, right when we were remonetized, I think you can see like the huge spike in views where it's like, you know, right now we're cost efficient when it comes to like certain things, but back then we were to the point where it's like, hey, like we could use a couple $100, couple $1,000 extra to make this more, you know, epic. And I believe a few months after we were remonetized, I think our views like 5x'd, and it's just it was definitely we definitely used a lot of, you know, we didn't stop posting obviously, so we were getting better each video, and then when we combined that with, you know, thinking of, hey, how do we actually elevate this video by spending more, like just figuring out like what exactly can we do to make it like, you know, elevate this piece of content for the viewer. Yeah, the main thing is we were just able to kind of like, you know, if we wanted to get, we got this Kevin Hart voice imitator who was going viral on TikTok. We flew him out to be in our video, and that's something we wouldn't have been able to afford at the time when we were demonetized. So we were just kind of posting as normal, but we were able to do like, hey, like we can finally go to this trampoline park, rent this trampoline park out, or get this actor to come out here and be in our video, right? So we were just posting like everything was normal. And, you know, we just, like I said, we didn't think too much of it. We just wanted to move past it. It was a very hard time in our life. So we definitely posted like nothing ever happened. So just scaled up in a way that we weren't able to beforehand financially.
I want to ask about a big turning point in February of 2024, because I pulled up this graph that I want to share with you guys. For years, you were getting like a few million views per day. And then in February 2024, it skyrocketed to you guys averaging 50 million views per day. What happened? What changed?
View bots. I'm joking.
You're not gonna
okay, now it sounds suspicious, Alex. I thought you, okay. Well, our goal like for every year is to try something new. And originally in 2023, going into 2024, we wanted to try to globalize our content more. And we always thought our content really appealed to a mass audience. And I know like with that in mind, we definitely wanted to try dubbing and making our content more globalized.
Well, tell me about, so how did you make it more globalized? Because I think dubbing, a lot of people know about, like, what do you guys do to, like, did you guys like try to speak less in your videos, or like what else do you? Because that's a crazy jump.
I definitely want to say that we filmed some videos that were very targeted towards dubbing, which was like which country has the best school lunch, which country competes for this, that, where it's just more like appealable on the homepage. When you see it, you're a new follower from like a different country. And I definitely would say like our content is a little bit more globalized, right? I feel like if you look at what videos are doing well globally, I feel like challenges play a huge part of that. Vlogs, pranks, that definitely plays like a huge part in it as well. That along with, I do want to mention that we also got a new editing team as well, right? So literally we got a new editor in February who kind of really understood like our vision, what we wanted to do in the video, someone who specialized a little more in editings, graphics, VFX, 3D. And he was really able to help us storytell our videos a lot better on the way that we wanted to, you know, better retention, better storytelling, better graphics, really elevating our video to like the next level. So I think that combined with like dubbing tracks really helped with the huge boost in views, as you can see.
Yeah. And then just around this time, like another graph that I thought was fascinating was your subscriber count. This is from ViewStats. You guys jumped from around 15 million subscribers around February 2024 to, again, 110 million because of all the things you said, which is fascinating to see.
Yeah.
You said from 15 million?
Yeah.
15 million to 111. Wait, so we've grown 100 million subscribers this year? I had no clue.
I mean, wait, look at your, can you pull up your YouTube studio?
I had no clue we grew that much.
Oh my God, I really didn't know.
I had no clue. Wow. I had no clue that we were.
Yeah, look at your past year, your past 365 days.
Jeez. 85.3 million in the last 365 days.
Wow.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I thought the number was closer to 50 because we don't really necessarily.
What are some other stats on there that like kind of jump out on your YouTube studio? Can you share your AdSense? For the past year?
AdSense?
I mean, it's amazing how far you guys have come. Like
I want you to guess what our AdSense is.
Man, you guys are, it's so interesting because it's like I feel like you guys are doing crazy views, but I also wonder about the CPMs. And
the January, let's keep that in mind too.
Yeah, it's
January.
Well, for the last 365 days.
Last 365 days.
Last 365 days.
Oh God. Wait, do we want to just throw that out there for the world to know?
Over 10 million.
10 million?
Under.
5 million.
5 million?
Under.
2.5 million.
2.5 million.
Yeah. So
on AdSense alone.
He's joking.
I'm joking. No, but it's under 10 million, in between 5 million.
5 to 10 million.
Between 5 to 10 million in AdSense last year.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild. That's wild. Yeah. How does that feel, like making $5 to $10 million on YouTube AdSense alone after coming from, you know, basically being homeless?
Wow. Like it's honestly like a blessing. Like we love what we do, and just being able to like wake up every day, you know, have like, obviously we have a huge passion for what we do. It's like, you know, there's people always ask me like, oh, do you need time off? I'm like, no, like I love doing this. This is my hobby. This is like my joy. So to be able to make a living out of this and that much of a living from it is just truly a blessing. So it's incredible.
It's incredible. Can you tell me about your time in AMP, the creator collective founded by Brent Rivera? You guys were part of that. You guys made videos with him and his crew for many years. Rewind the clock. Like, why did you guys join that group instead of, you know, making content on your own?
Yeah. I think that takes us back to like, I guess during that time when we first came out here trying to make it on our own. I believe this was like, I think this was 6 months after we did try to do social media on our own. We were homeless. We needed like support. And after like our first like breakthrough, like Instagram videos, Instagram pictures that really went viral, Brent stumbled upon some of them along with the other creators, right? You know, there were like multiple people who were like popular at the time. Like pretty much like all of them like approached us at the time.
Like who? Like this is Jake Paul Team 10 era, right?
Yeah, it's just more so like a lot of groups approached us.
They're in your DMs offering you deals to sign with them.
Yes, and even handing us contracts. But the one that made the most sense to us at the time was AMP. And, you know, we signed with them, hopefully wanting to get, you know, like a place to stay, like a content group to film with. And at the end of the day, it's just, you know, our time there, we did learn a lot, like, you know, seeing another creator who had done it for all these years. And definitely we were able to kind of see and learn, and almost felt like an internship, right? Where I'm able to be, oh my God, this is a whole creator economy. This is what creators do. This is how creators mingle. Like, these are how creators interact with other creators. This is how they make content. And this is how they think. And I was able to kind of see what I liked and what I didn't like. And I guess after a few years, we just, wasn't the right fit for us. And we're more so lone wolves. We like thinking on our own. We like doing things on our own. We like having our own team, own people that we can train up, which is why we have such a lean team. But yeah, at the end of the day, we kind of, it was definitely a great learning experience from them. And we were kind of able to take that and apply that knowledge to like our parts of like what we do. And yeah, I think we were with them for roughly 2 years, 3 years. 3 years?
Around 3 years, yeah.
What was the most surprising thing you guys learned during that time?
How much money you can make from social media.
Really?
Yeah. How much? Yeah.
How like this is an actual living, right? Like ways to monetize like through content, right? Like, I always thought like, you just kind of do it and you have followers and you only make money from brands, but there's monetization from YouTube. There's brand deals you can get from Instagram. There's brand deals you can get from TikTok. And just being able to like see that really was like, oh my God, you can make a real living off of this. And that's precisely what we did with it.
What was the offering? Like what did like a lot's been said about these creator groups, like some are super helpful, some are not. They sell you a big dream. Like what do they offer? Do they say we're gonna put you in this many cross promotions of other people in the group who have tens of millions of followers? Did they say we're gonna source brand deals for you? Like what made you guys say like, oh, this is gonna help us versus doing us on our own? Because obviously right now you guys are super successful as lone wolves.
Yeah, I mean that's precisely what it is. There's a group of people that you can like collaborate with, other creators or other people that will be under Brent.
Like Lexi and Ben
Lexi,
Azalar,
Ben, those people where you can kind of just like collaborate with them, make content with them, and just hang out with them as friends.
Yeah.
Right. And also there is like a manager that Brent had who would source us deals if the opportunity ever came. And I think that right there was very, very appealing to us. We're like, okay, like we would have access to Brent to help us grow.
Yeah.
We would have access to a manager to get us some deals. And that at the end of the day was like, okay, this makes the most sense for us.
Yeah.
And I guess culturally, like, we don't drink, we don't like do smoke or any of that. And he was the same way. And a bunch of other groups, they're very into like party heavy.
Yeah.
So that's just wasn't like, that's not what I was trying to do. I've never really enjoyed that. And when I saw that my vision was aligned, Brent's vision was also that, I was like, oh my God, like I want someone who's going to help us grind. So that's what ended up making us go with Brent.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like the brand deals, people inside of it, but just his goals and the
the
kind of person he
ecosystem.
was. Yeah, where it's just like, we're going to grind, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and I'm going to learn a lot from it. So that's what made us go with him.
Yeah. You can add.
Oh yeah, just like the ecosystem, having creators there and just surrounding yourselves with people who also want to make content as well. Just like taking it as an opportunity to learn and use others to kind of be in, help them and vice versa. I just thought like the ecosystem there was definitely appealing. And yeah, we definitely learned a lot from that.
Yeah.
So that was one of the main reasons why.
Yeah. What was the trade-off? Like what cut did they take of your revenue?
I do not think we're allowed
I don't
to
think
share
we're allowed
that.
to share that.
Yeah.
I mean, was it like just, do you want to know personally? Or
I mean,
is
I'm
it-
just curious because I know a lot of creators who enter these agreements and some are really happy with it, but some like become too big for what they initially agreed to.
Yeah.
And that leads to resentment. So I'm just curious, like, yeah, it's just complicated, a lot of these deals. But you don't have to share the number. If you
No,
don't
of
want
course.
to.
Like, so whenever money gets involved, I feel like that's when things, it always gets messy. And of course, when you're like going into it at such a young age, like people do have resentment. But as you get older, you realize, hey, like everyone's living life for the first time. We're all learning. And I just don't really hold any bad blood for anyone in that regard. But yeah, it got to a point where the money we were splitting just didn't make sense at all because we were really operating outside of, not really utilizing their resources or their team. And it just made so much more sense to kind of have things, build our own schedule, build our own team, and just kind of go from there. But of course, things we learned there and all that was definitely super valuable.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot to be said about like these content houses, like, Team 10, AMP, they've been around YouTube for a while, but I think a lot of people think like, oh, the members of those groups, like, they have to be members of that group for life, but that's not true. I view them more as like Saturday Night Live, like SNL, you guys come in, you're like there for a bit and then you go on your own and you graduate, which it sounds like you guys have done.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the difference between like the group that we were in versus like them, I think they all get like have like a certain ownership of the channel where it's like, you know, if they leave, they kind of don't get that anymore, right? Like
Oh,
it's
interesting.
yeah, they all get like a certain percentage of the channel.
Wait, do they all get rev share?
Yeah, it's all like split like
Yeah.
pretty evenly, I think.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if that's still the case anymore
Yeah.
with like a lot of these like groups that have been around. I'm not going to name any
Yeah, of
specific
course,
ones,
yeah.
but obviously, you know, when you own a certain percentage of like you know, a successful channel,
Yeah.
like it would be not a wise move to leave
To leave.
unless you have like your own channel that is more successful, that hey, if I dedicated more of my time to my own channel,
Yeah.
I could be making this much more and I would be, you know, more so free and doing what I love to do and make more money, which ultimately is what happened to us.
Yeah.
And it just made more sense for us to do our own thing, have our own schedule, have our
course.
own team, and not be tied down to like their schedule and like appear in everyone's content, because that would eat up a lot of our time. Like I believe like we were not able to make like certain videos because of the fact that we had a certain schedule that we had to go to, had to make ourselves available for collaborations, like mandatory collaborations. So at the end of the day, it made more sense for us to just kind of do our own thing, make our own videos, and just start up our own team.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. And you know, Brent deserves a lot of credit for building that up. And like a lot of people try, but he's done it, you know, with a lot of different creators and for many years now. So that's interesting, like the economics of it. So were you guys given, like, you don't have to say how much, but like a rev share of like other creators, or that it was just
no.
It was just you know, everything that essentially we owned and created would be
shared
rev
with
shared.
them.
Yes. Mhm.
Got it. It's like, what's your relationship with Brent Rivera now?
We're still, you know, like I regularly text Ben. We actually saw him at the Spotter Summit. We had some, you know, we created a lot of core memories together, right? So it's just one of these things where, you know, just because we lost touch doesn't mean like there's any like bad blood, but it's just when with any opportunities, I'm going to be excited to see like Ben or like someone else where it's like, hey, like, you know, we were both young, experienced this journey together, and you know, I'm going to be excited to see someone who reminds me of my past. And it's just it's just one of these things where it's very reminiscing. Seeing him just reminds me of when times were more simple, we were younger, and you know, we're also trying to learn and grow and do the same thing together. So
Yeah. Today, Forbes lists your net worth at $20 million.
I would love to speak.
Is that
to them.
accurate, or is your net worth higher, lower? Like, what do you think about that number?
If you want to like I guess calculate accumulative earnings, like everything we've earned, I would say it's accurate. But in terms of like liquid and all these things, and the fact that we like reinvest a lot of our into like payroll, into like a bunch of, you know, everything we have, it's just, I would say it's not accurate, but it is accurate in terms of like everything I guess we've made in our lifetime, like everything we've generated from AdSense or whatever, what have you, right? But no, in terms of like, hey, like let me buy a private jet, like that kind of money, I'm like, nope, that is not.
It's not. Long story. It's not accurate.
It's not accurate.
It's not accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish.
How much are you guys spending per month? Because it seems
Per
like you're
month?
reinvesting a ton in your content. You mentioned payroll. Like,
I would love you to kind of just. What do you think it
what
is?
do you, I love this little pop quiz back and forth. Over $150,000 a month.
That's our. You think that's our? I guess on videos or everything. Just on video, like our team, our payroll,
Or overall, like how much money
our
leaves your
team.
bank account every month on average?
Oh, on leaves our bank account.
Yeah.
So everything in general.
Yeah.
Right. Well, like we don't ever like buy anything for ourselves. I think the suit was like the most expensive thing we bought for ourselves. No. Yeah. So like we don't have any designer stuff. We don't ever buy anything for ourselves at all. Like given this is a very nice, luxurious house.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's all for content.
Yeah.
Right. So shoot, like I don't want this number to be spun out of proportion, but counting everything what leaves our bank account, I would say probably 98% of that is all in our business.
Yeah.
Each year we probably spend around $10 million on our videos just to run everything.
Wow.
Yeah. The last 3 years has been roughly that.
Wait, I want to make sure I heard that right. How much do you spend a year on videos?
The last 3 years we spent roughly 30 million on our videos. So roughly 10 a year. Some months it's like $1 million, some months it's 500. Depends on.
Wow.
Yeah. It's to me, I'm like,
It's very high payroll.
I sit
too.
down. I sit down.
I want to know what you're paying them.
I open up my own. I look at my bank account. I'm looking off through all these like PDFs, and I'm like, where in the hell am I spending this much money at?
Yeah.
And I look down, I'm like, oh my god, okay, like so to build this was like $22,000. To do this was like 15,000. Like, and I'm like, okay, like that really adds up, right? Like, and like honestly, like I thought a huge portion of that was like electricity. Like electricity for this house is only like, I think like what, like under 1,000. Like electricity, water, all of that's like under 1,000. So you'd imagine it's a lot more because it's a pretty big house. So I was like, okay, like I got to be spending this much on like electricity, water, gas, all of these things. But like I said, like 98% of that is all like video costs, right? Like the team, we do have some very high level employees that we do pay like a premium rate to, and just video costs.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's like the payroll is definitely
like the
Yeah.
biggest chunk of it. And
What's
that
the rough makeup of your team? Mostly editors, or I
I
saw a
would
ton of folks in there.
I would say definitely the biggest cost is editors.
Yeah.
Then production.
Yeah.
Then right now we have, like I said, like people that I'm training up as well. And a lot of them are from like, different parts of like the world. So obviously having to pay for like their stay, food, their salary as well. So I would definitely say payroll alone probably makes up $4 million a year.
Wow.
Probably I would say $4 million a year, just payroll right now.
Wow. And you're fueling this through YouTube AdSense.
Purely AdSense.
Well, how many? I looked through your past videos. I couldn't find a brand deal.
Yeah.
Like, how many brand deals would you say you've done in the past 3-4 years?
I think we've done maybe like 3
3
or 4,
And
one a
is-
year.
Is that like because they're not coming in, or because you guys aren't reaching out?
I would definitely say like we turn down majority of the brand deals.
Uh-huh.
I just kind of almost see it as like okay. So it depends on if it's a good fit or not.
Mhm.
We're very selective on who we work with. And I just almost view it as like, hey, if it's not a good fit, my fans are going to be at, oh, like that's obviously like when you put an ad in a video, like people like to say like, oh, like this many people, I'm able to do it like and keep this many people on. That's never the truth. It's definitely like a lower point in the video, and we're just super critical in our videos. And I know for a fact that, hey, like here's how much the brand deal is going to make me.
Yeah.
Here's how much more I would make from the video if it were to have this watch time, if it were to have this click-through rates. These analytics and I kind of factor in, okay, over a 5-year course, like I'm making an extra this much money from the brand deal, which counting factor my time communicating with the brand, doing this, if it's not the right fit, if it's not a right partnership, it's just almost not worth it to us. But given like we have been approached by like, we have done like a few brand deals over the years that we think are good fits as well. So it's just, like I said, I believe that right now we have a lot of fresh followers. We just grew a lot, and we have the trust of our followers. So not only do I want it to be a good fit for the brand, I don't want to disappoint the brand, but I also don't want to disappoint my fans. I don't want to just kind of force them to like, sit through an ad read, because that's the part I get most annoyed at in someone's video. I'm like, okay, like I'm fast forwarding that part when I see it in other people's videos. But if it's the right fit, if it's an organic placement in a video, like absolutely that makes sense, right? So that's the way we see it as. But over the last few months, we've pretty close to closing out like a few partnerships that I think definitely make a lot of sense in our content. So yeah, it's kind of just back to like us not thinking it's worth our time or not a great fit.
What's the biggest brand deal you've said no to?
Shoot, I think like 120 million. I'm making this up.
That's a good question.
That's a very good question.
Because like all of this happened really recently, like our growth. So of course we have like new rates with, I feel like we're worth.
But the funny thing is a lot of these brands, like when they come to us, they're like, think that we're still at like 20, 30 mil.
Yeah.
Like they don't know that in the last 9 months, we've grown like 80 to 90 million subscribers, right? So they're like, they don't know our views. They're like, oh, you guys are still getting 20 million views a video, right? Like over time, and averaged out like, in the last I want to say last like 10, 11 months, like we're averaging close to 100 million views per video, give it like a few months. But
we've had a few like I would say like a 7-figure deal where I'm like, hey, like based on these posting requirements, it just really wouldn't be worth my time, and I don't think it's a great fit for like our audience either. So we're just super like selective with the brands, and especially this year too. When we do find that right brand and right partnership, we're also so hands-on in the creative process as well, where it's like, hey, like I know if this is going to be the right fit, we can create that spectacle and really drive excitement about the product or whatever it is that we're trying to advertise. So it's just more so like being careful about that, because I just never at any point, since we're so like hyper, you know, specific on like our retention, we just don't want any like low points. And if we can find a way to really think of a creative solution and hey, like we can do like the ad read here or like a super organic placement right here throughout the videos, and just finding like the best conversion for us and for the brand is definitely something we're super focused on when we do find like the right brand we do want to work with.
I mean, the way you guys think about retention is fascinating. I was watching a lot of your shorts, and without fail, you almost always have a call to action to subscribe. But it's well done. What's the most subscribers you've gotten from a short?
Shoot. There's multiple ones where it's like over 1 million, like from multiple ones. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you think about that? Because like it's almost like, you know, like you could take time for a brand deal, you could take time for your own call to action for subscribing. Like, how do you think about like breaking up the story to say subscribe, or do you guys have any tips or tricks to integrate like the subscribe call to action in your shorts?
Yeah, we typically try to tie it in with like what we're doing in the video, right? Like we went to this park in the Philippines. It's
called Dino Island.
It's called Dino Island. And there's just like these dinosaurs bite you, this gorilla punches you, right? And it punched them in the face. And pretty much I was like, okay, like punch that subscribe button. I mean, like it's like feels like, you know, it's kind of like wordplay, and it's like, oh my God, like during the replay we're like, you know, saying like punch that subscribe button. Yeah. And it's just, I feel like that's just more of like an organic fit where it's not like us after the video standing there going like, hey, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, blah, 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 which is what we used to do. And I was, oh my God, like why did no one watch that part? It's a huge dip. So we just found ways to make it a little bit more organic. And it's like, it's not too much thought process of it, but like, you know, it depends on what we're doing, right? Like getting punch that subscribe button. It's just, I just feel like it's just more
wordplay and thinking of creative ways for like calls to action as opposed to like just straight up saying subscribe. And I think that's also important, because when I'm watching something like that, and let's say like he filmed the shorts without me knowing, I'll watch it and I'm like, oh, like that didn't feel annoying, that subscribe gimmick, and vice versa. Like we'll watch and we're like, okay, that's more of like a self-aware sort of call to action. We're just kind of putting that word in their head, and you know, of course, it definitely converts a bit better for us versus not saying
subscribe
anything.
versus not saying subscribe is like 5 times difference.
Yeah.
Let's say typically you only earn like 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
If you say subscribe, it can be anywhere between 5 to 10 times the difference.
Oh wow! Literally just saying the word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or I mean, not just straight up saying the word, but like if you find a really organic placement for it, that is, I would say.
Yeah. I pulled this video where I thought the intro was just a masterclass in getting people's attention. I was wondering if you could play it, pause it, break down what you guys did, and have the script in front of you guys as well.
Today, I'm building a secret 7-Eleven in my room and hiding it from my twin brother. He says we don't look like twins anymore because of my recent weight gain. So he started a 90-day...
Okay, so first of all, the intro shot, right? So we always think of a way to like, all right, like first off, right when you click on a video, like, especially when it comes to Secret Room, we always think of, all right, like what YouTubers haven't done, like certain like, you know, spots. For example, like the one we did with the 5 secret rooms, no one's ever done one underneath the floor under a bed, or at least to my knowledge. So we wanted to do that. So we're like, okay, that's not only does that fit, like, okay, that's super visual, and so that's something no one's ever done. And that was the same thought process behind the intro shot for the 7-Eleven, where it's like, oh, it's a Mona Lisa painting, something everyone, you know, and that's the part that's super important too, where it's like, it's not just a painting of a random person, it's also something that people worldwide know about. So when we're like, right off the bat, you're like, okay, like, what is this? And it's like a secret entrance to a 7-Eleven. And 7-Eleven is also super global as well. So it's like, we're combining these things and really thinking like, okay, how do we get the hook? Like I mentioned, that secret entrance, you're like, oh my God, okay, that's super impressive. And then 7-Eleven, people are familiar with that. And, you know, the weight gain, people always comment about like, okay, Alex is gaining a lot of weight. And it's
Yeah,
just,
I was surprised you put that in the video. Like,
No,
there's been
just-
rumors you've been gaining weight also for like the retention jokes. Like, is there?
There's
like,
been rumors. I mean, I think it's not a rumor.
it's all the comments.
It's all the comments.
I think it's the truth.
You're gaining weight
I
to
gained-
increase your YouTube retention.
Yes. No, of course not. No, it's just it's, you know, like that's a whole thing. You know, it's I definitely would say that it's really, really just the last 2023 to 2025 now. You know, when you're your own boss, like you feel like you can never do enough work, right? And it's like, oh, I could work out, or I could spend an hour improving my intro to my video, or sitting there with the editors, teaching them what I want, or training up someone new and having them understand what it is that I do. And it's just like a never ending, I feel like I never can do enough. And it's like, okay, like I'm my own limit, if that makes sense, right? However long I work, however much I work is going to be put back in a video. It's going to show in like the views. It's going to show in like in our business. It's going to show in all those aspects. So my health has kind of been like a side hustle to me recently, to where I just kind of eat Postmates, eat DoorDash. It's just
Comfort food.
Yeah, it's just more convenient. It saves me time. I'm able to eat and talk as opposed to like cook my own food like I used to. And obviously when we were homeless, like there was no food to eat, right? So I was a lot, you know, skinnier then, wasn't able to. So I've been introduced to a lot of amazing Postmates, DoorDash food. And throughout the years, a lot of our fans have noticed that, hey, like they don't look like twins anymore. Like, and it did hurt my feelings initially, but now I kind of just play into it. I'm like, hey, like, you know, I know I'm fat now, so might as well just play into it.
You still look great, man. Yeah. But tell me more about the intention behind each of the words in each of the shots, because I also saw this interesting post from Mario Juice, who worked with you guys.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
he said that in his post, he said you guys had 18-page scripts for your videos where everything was thought out. So I know we're talking about the intro, but like, what's in those 18-page scripts that makes your videos go so viral?
Yeah, I mean, it comes ultimately from studying like our retention, right? I would say our best planned videos, the ones that have gone the most viral, are the ones where we're able to like capitalize on multiple times, right? Some videos are like one-off. You know, if we film a video that's a 1 out of 10 or like a 2 or 3 out of 10, we're probably going to plan like a part 2 or part 3 to that video, right? But if it's like obviously 10 out of 10, like, you know, we're going to kill it off. We're not going to do part 2 to that. Yeah. But with the secret rooms, like I mentioned, that was such a huge 1 out of 10 for us, where we were like, okay, like we're going to have to make multiple series of this. Yeah. And from there, we were kind of just able to see like what people enjoyed in the video, what they didn't enjoy. And when you're able to study like a video and able to do it like 5-6 times, you can kind of by the time we do the next one, like I want it as perfect as possible. Yeah. And because I'm able to see exactly what the audience is enjoying, what they're not enjoying, where they're clicking off at, we're able to write like the perfect script where it's like, okay, maybe they didn't care too much when I'm not making progress and finding my room. If I'm making a joke, too many jokes back to back, I got to cut that out. So when I walk in, I need to have intent on, okay, this is where I'm going to look first. And when I go and look for it, here's why it doesn't work, as opposed to just, you know, a lot of times when we like find these rooms, I genuinely want to build a secret room in a pool, but I'm not going to do that because it's too cold. And I'll say that in the video. Okay, I'm not going to do that. It's too cold. And you can see right through it. Yeah. So like from there, I'm like, okay, like I'm piquing the audience interest. Like, is he going to build a secret room in a pool? That would be really, really cool. And we do a graphic of it and everything. But then not able to do it. Yeah. So I settled for a kind of a cool spot underneath the floor here, which that was a whole like cut into the marble, all of that stuff. Very expensive
I
to
want
do.
to talk about the construction and like set building you guys do, because it's insane. But tell me about like this video. Can you show me the retention graph? Wait, so this is the retention graph for the 7-Eleven video.
Yes. But it definitely looked a lot different when we first posted it. But when it's like reaching 100 million views, sometimes like the graphs aren't. I thought the whole video said top moment, but then, you know, when you check back months later, sometimes, you know, the intro shot, people aren't, you know.
I mean, this is 94 million views. It's getting 226,000 views every 48 hours, 41% retention on a video that's about 20 minutes long. Can I see how much AdSense they got? Or can I scroll? Or like?
Oh, I mean, you can.
Okay.
Like, yeah, you can.
Holy shit! On one video, I can't say this number out loud.
Wait, can I? I don't even know what it is.
I don't know what it
I
is.
would love
okay.
to see what
okay,
it is.
all right. I mean, this is probably pennies for you guys, but that's a lot of trips to Costco.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is.
No, that's a lot.
That's
Of, that's a lot of.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
buffets.
Yeah. What's your video with your best retention, or what's like most subscribers, or like any other videos that have like an interesting?
I mean,
Which video is
this
this?
is our most viral video.
Yeah.
Has like 100, I think 170.
Wow. Yeah. 168 million views. Can I scroll to the AdSense on this one?
Yes.
Yes.
This one's definitely a
This
lot
one's
better.
definitely.
Oh my God. Well, first of all, can I
Yeah.
say the subscriber number you got from this?
Yes.
Yes.
On this video alone, you guys got 924,000 subscribers. Wow. Oh my God. That's how much you guys made on AdSense from this video?
Yeah. How much was it? Let me see. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. That was
Wow.
a lot more than
Yeah.
I thought.
Wow.
You guys don't look at your numbers like this? I feel like so many
Well, I mean,
creators
we
I mean,
check-
they're like
we-
refreshing.
We check it in the first week. I just don't want to dwell on it.
Yeah.
And like a lot of times it goes down as it reaches more people.
Wow.
Just the ad slots don't get filled up. So
How long ago was this video posted? This has been
like 10 months or
10 months.
Wait, really?
no way.
We're in 2025.
That's wild. I mean, that's a lot more renovations.
Yeah. A
this
lot
place.
more
Yeah.
construction costs
Yeah.
to cover.
That's insane. If you made it this far, it'd mean the world if you could hit the subscribe button and ring the bell as we try to hit 1 million subscribers this year. Plus, we have so many big videos coming up, from studio tours to behind the scenes to interviews that you won't want to miss. And just thank you for everything, guys. To be able to do this full time has been a dream come true. And now back to the video. Yeah, right. Audio sync.
What does that do when you clap? Like you're able to sync all of them because you see like that huge like
Spike. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know that? That's why they do the thing so they can find it too in the clip.
Wait, you
So-
knew? No,
You knew that. Come on.
No.
If I knew it and you don't know it, you're kidding me.
No, I didn't know that. I actually didn't know that. I thought it was for like a visual thing. But the clapping, like I put that together, but I've never done that. I've never seen people do that because we don't hang around other creators and they don't do behind the scenes stuff like this.
Oh, wow.
Or like, I mean, we just up until like 2 months ago, we just hang out with creators. Like
Yeah.
Jimmy was the first creator we hung out with in the last 3 years.
Wait, what?
Right?
Wait,
Jimmy-
to shoot that video. So wait, when
To
you guys
shoot
shot
that video with
it
Jimmy,
was-
he was the first creator we hung out with in 3 years. Jordan Matter came. He was the only other creator in Fede.
Yeah.
To where they just came and like we just filmed a video.
Yeah.
But Jimmy was the first one that I would say Fede too. Like we hung out with him a little bit. But Jimmy was the first one we actually got to talk to as like people,
Mm-mm.
right? Like there was a little bit of a language barrier with Fede, but
Yeah.
for 3.5 years, Jimmy was the first creator we got to talk to, and he really opened up my eyes on a lot of stuff. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait. There's so many. Why did it take 3.5 years to like hang out with a creator? I mean, you guys are one of the biggest ones on YouTube.
I mean, like,
What just happened recently, I guess.
yeah, I mean,
then-
I mean, the growth was recent too.
No,
I
you guys
think.
have been big for a
Mhm.
while. This is just another level.
I mean, he reached out
Mm.
and then we talked on the phone, and you know, I feel like I learned a lot from him. And surprisingly, he mentioned like, "Oh my God, like you guys are a little bit," or he mentioned that we were smarter than like what he initially thought of us. And I was like, "Really? Like, what's people's perception of us?" Like, I didn't ask him that, but I'm thinking that in my head. And I was like, if this is all they see of us, they don't know like our lives personally.
Right.
They don't know our operations. Like, anytime I tell anyone up until recently that our team is only this many people, like we had 5 employees. That was it
Mm.
for like the last like 6, 7 years.
Mm.
And we didn't even get those employees until 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And everyone goes like, how in the hell did you scale up to this?
Mm.
And I would definitely say it's because like we're super obsessed with what we do. I pretty much can spend all day on YouTube, and it's just also because I love it. I love every step of what we do. So I'm constantly, I just see it as, oh my God, like I can't wait to like, look over my video. Can't wait to like see how I can improve it. Can't wait to look over the analytics, and I just love every moment of it.
Yeah.
So that's honestly like how we do it. So I just love being involved every step of the way, given that it has kind of felt
Come with a weight gain?
yeah, I was gonna say like come with like a little bit of a weight gain, but that is not for the videos. That would be crazy if it was. But I actually gained weight, so like the fat jokes made sense.
I mean, I think you have a lot of confidence to self-deprecate like that. What else did Jimmy say? Because that's an interesting moment. I was actually surprised to see that you guys collaborated, because for a while it's like, you guys had put out similar stuff. It's like, what's the relationship like? So to see you guys collaborate, I mean, that's another full circle moment right there.
Yeah, it was definitely like very, very refreshing. Like seeing another creator who like loves what they do. A lot of creators that we've met, and you know, part of like our past, everyone almost feels like they hate what they do, and they just kind of feels like a job to them. And I was like, it's almost like they're only doing it because they're like, I need to do this to make money.
Yeah.
So like seeing him, like we were going to Walmart and he was just smiling the whole time, going like, hey, let's go do something fun. We went to Walmart and he was like, looking at his chocolate bars, organizing them. And I just thought it was like the like coolest thing ever. Like someone who was like that in love of what they did and like cared that much, that passionate about everything. I was like, oh my God, like it was just so nice to see. And it was just very, very like a huge, like, I don't know, like a huge, like, I don't know. I wanted to cry when I saw it, honestly. So it was very, very like special to me.
Yeah.
To like meet someone like that.
Yeah, I had a chance to go with Jimmy to a grocery store and seeing him like go down the aisle and like analyze the products like YouTube thumbnails was fascinating.
Whole nother side to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's beyond the videos.
Yeah. Looking ahead, where does the Stokes Twins empire go from here? Like, are you guys, I mean, you guys are so huge. I'm actually shocked you guys haven't launched a product yet or like done something like a lot of the other creators have. Ryan Trahan with Joyride, Jimmy obviously with Feastables. Are you guys thinking about like other business moves, just doubling down on content? Like, where do we go from here?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that I wanted to kind of free up my time for, right? I feel like there's only a certain cap that I can like, 100% of my time go into the videos. I would only maybe get like 10, 20% more return for like my videos.
Yeah.
So if I'm able to free up 20, 30 hours a week to where I'm able to like, start my own product, learn more about the business world, that's also where I'm also super fascinated in as well. That's definitely next for us. I
mean, the reason why it's taken so long is because we want to create that perfect product, right? Like the product has to be good in our eyes. And it's just, these things take time. And right now our time is really tied up, which was the whole purpose of hiring the people you see in there. Like half of them weren't even here, like a few days ago even. So right now it's just figuring out a way to free up a portion of our time so we can dedicate it to building something else like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, we definitely just want it to be good, not just something like one and off. It's has to make sense, has to be good, has to fit what we do and what we're also passionate about. So we're definitely close. I would say maybe in a few months, sometime this year.
very close.
Cool.
We'll definitely have something exciting.
Yeah. Do you think you'll age up your content as you guys get older? Like right now, what's the primary demographic of your content?
I would say 18 plus for yeah, I would say at the core, our fan base is definitely around like preteen, I would say. It's not even like a calculated effort or anything. It's definitely, I just think subconsciously, we try to like deliver and make videos where I feel like I was on YouTube the most as a kid. And that was around 12, 13, 14. And watching creators that, which made me fall in love with YouTube more. And that kind of inspired us to like make content like that, deliveries like that. And I think that's more so like when we have like these jokes in our videos, I would definitely say it's more catered towards like preteens, teens. And yeah, I wouldn't say it falls under one specific age group. I definitely would say, especially this year, we've feel like a huge reason for our success is also because we've tried to make our, not age up, but I would say we definitely made it more where everybody can watch it, right? Like you could watch it, with, we've had parents come up to us saying, hey, like I'll watch a lot of your videos, like by myself too, older brothers, older sisters.
Parents
and
watch
it's just
it by themselves.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just like sometimes like, we have some of these jokes where they're like, oh, like I can't let them watch that, so I'll watch it.
You guys have a lot of
myself,
sexual innuendos in your content.
No, we do not.
You don't?
You have a dirty mind.
No.
That's
you
you.
guys do.
It's you got the dirty mind, not us.
No, come on. I mean, but are those do you put those jokes in there deliberately to try to age up your content, or do you think about the responsibility of that content for kids?
I feel like we've just been doing that since like ever since we started YouTube. I feel like it's just
No, when we first started making YouTube videos in elementary school, we literally, those were the kind of jokes that we did in our videos as well. So it's almost like being able to like relive that as well, like a huge part of our childhood, like being able to have those jokes. And obviously we were very, very inspired by the YouTubers we watched at a time. Yeah. And it's almost like a huge part of our humor comes from YouTube. Like, you know, a lot of people, their humor comes from shows, movies. Our humor comes from YouTubers we watched when we were younger. So a lot of that is tied in with like those other YouTubers.
Yeah.
And given that like, so like we're not on YouTube Kids. I know a lot of people think like, oh, our views are from YouTube Kids.
The app, YouTube
We don't,
Kids
yeah, the app YouTube Kids. We don't have a single view from YouTube Kids.
Yeah.
And see like the direction that like, you know, that's a very interesting question because now you're like, do you want to age up your content or because like we almost want to age it down and make it a lot cleaner so we can be on YouTube Kids because I've recently found out all the creators who are on YouTube Kids and the views that they get from it. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is a whole untapped market for us. Yeah. Like this can really help us compete with like, you know, a lot of these like top views, top most viewed videos if we are on YouTube Kids. So like it's like a whole nother market that we're really trying to tap into, given like we're gonna have to do like a whole revamp on like some of the jokes in our videos. But at the same time too, like a lot of people watch our videos for that as well. And yeah, no, it's just super interesting, like the different age groups that we get depending on where we go. Like,
yeah, I would say definitely globally we have way older, especially like, you know, Southeast Asia, primarily those regions. They're all like, I would say around our age. They're like, you know, definitely a lot older than the US, your typical like US fans. But yeah, back to his point, he was saying like, you know, kind of like aging up our content and all that. I just feel like at the same time, it's primarily it's like people on YouTube at its core, like primarily it's going to be people around like the age of like 10 to like 15. I feel like 10, 15 male. And it just so happened, like we don't like try to target that, but that's just, we were that like typical YouTube viewer consumer at the time. And I think that's just kind of a lot of where subconsciously when we're like thinking of scenes, thinking of jokes, it's just, we just default back to that because it's, like I said, it's just when we spent the most time on YouTube back then. Because now it's more so like for research purposes. Back then I used to consume YouTube for like entertainment, watching all these like big like YouTube channels.
But no, that's interesting common thread throughout all of this is like you create what you consume. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So whether it's for research purposes or not. As we wrap up here, you know, the sun has gone down. You guys have opened up about so many things. I'd say one of the most touching videos that you guys have put online was the video about your grandpa. Because most people may not know, you guys were born and raised in China. Would go there and he would, you know, raise you guys and spend a lot of time with you guys. I'm wondering what would your parents and specifically what would your grandpa say about what you guys are doing now today?
Well, just right off the bat, like, you know, he raised us when we were little kids and we would go back every summer. So he was technically, we saw him as our dad or our parents. So a lot of like the kind of people who we are today, a lot of like, you know, who we are like personally and whatnot was heavily influenced by him. Like I definitely try to be more and more like him. Decisions where it's like, hey, like don't be angry, be more patient, things like that because of him, right? And I know he, at the time, we were so like nose deep on YouTube and super extremely busy to the point where we used to call our grandparents like every week over just to check up on them. And I think there was a time where we didn't speak with them for like a whole month because we were just so busy just figuring out the videos because we finally had like, you know, we were remonetized, things were vamping up. We kind of got like so buried in the work and we kind of lost touch with like what was important. And we, you know, we had the opportunity to pick up a phone call that night when we were outside, like planning out this next video. And, you know, the very next day, like we got news that he passed. And, you know, it kind of just made us realize, like, I feel like to this day, if a part of me thinks if, you know, we would have picked up, he would have been in a better mood. What situation would have happened. But yeah, so it's definitely, he is the reason why like we work so hard too. I feel like because like to ignore like what we did because we already sacrificed so much, I don't want it to be in vain now, where it's like if we just like give up and quit, it's just kind of like, okay, so what was all that hard work for? Like what was the purpose behind all this. And of course, like, we love what we do, but obviously there's moments where, you know, we're working 18-hour days, we get stressed out, and having a reason to do it. Like, I never, the reason why I'm able to go push myself is because I ultimately don't do it for myself. I do it for others. So I think it's just, he's definitely provided that, that stuck with me. And I would like to say, I know he would be proud, but I definitely feel like there's better ways I can grow, and me as a person and whatnot, just in everything we do, just try to like honor his like legacy. And yeah, I'm not sure if you want to add anything to it, but yeah, it's no, it's very, very touchy for um Alex.
Yeah. I mean, that was yeah. So like obviously, like a lot of people don't know about her background, but like, you know, we come from like a super struggling in China. And like we're originally from Tennessee. You know, we keep this to ourselves, but we come from like, you know, very, very struggling background where like some days like we want to eat. And that was like the case with like our grandpa and like our family here as well. But like, you know, when we were younger, he always made sure like we ate, even, you know, if they didn't eat. And our family didn't know that we were homeless for even up until recently, because like I just didn't want to stress them out more than like than they needed to be, right? Like, and it really helped us, you know, push through with everything, because you know, our family in China, they were sick, and you know, they raised us to the core, like, you know, they're our parents, and we wanted to be able to take care of them because, you know, they were sick. And like by the time we could help out, it was too late. So like between like being demonetized, those days when we stayed up super late trying to figure it out, trying to earn extra revenue, like, was so we could pay for those things. And I had the opportunity to pick up his call, and I declined it. And he called like 20 more times, and then 3 hours later he passed. So I was doing it all for him and to take care of those close to me, and I wasn't even there in their final moments. So sorry. It is a huge part of why we do what we do and why we push through, because I feel like everything would have been for nothing if we just never quit or ever get into arguments or ever do things that could put our business in jeopardy. So he is a huge reason why we do everything. So that's why it's very important to us to take care of those close to us, and off camera, on camera. Like, you know, I don't want anyone to go through anything that they shouldn't have to, especially if I have the power to do that, because I wasn't able to at a time that I wish I could have. So I just always want to make sure that's something that never happens again. So that's a huge motivating factor for us.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I'm sure you'd be so proud of like what you guys are doing now, and even to have that attitude throughout to take care of everyone. I mean, yeah, I appreciate you opening up like that. Yeah. Is there anything else like on your mind? I mean, that was so beautiful. I think that's a, you know, like anything else that is on your mind or like things that you guys want to talk about. I mean, I appreciate you guys being so open throughout this interview. Anything else that you guys wanted to share or put out there before we wrap?
Not that I can think of.
I mean, we do have a present for you.
You do.
Yes.
Can I see what is it? Is it a
It's probably something we should have given you at the start of the video.
Oh, God.
But you
Oh
know,
my God.
retention, it's something to look
Okay,
forward to
I'm
at the
down.
end.
I'm down. Yeah. Well, what are we talking about here? Oh God. Oh God. Okay. Oh, all
I don't know if
right.
it's. I think it's your size,
Look at this. A tuxedo.
so we can be triplets.
Yes. The Stokes triplets. All right, guys. Oh, skinny fit. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. Well, I'm gonna have to wear this next time. Like, I there's so many more things. I feel like you guys are building that entire like space over there, the warehouse. Like, I feel like there's endless things to talk about. But I just want to thank you guys for your time and your openness. And I mean, we've talked now since the sun has gone down, and it just means a lot that the trust you guys put into this interview, because I know you don't. I mean, you guys, it's not even that often. I know this is the first time you guys have sat down. So thank you so much for everything. And yeah, I'll give you guys the final word, but thank you for the gift as well. This is crazy.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming out and interviewing us. This was very, very fun. Very glad we got to talk.
Thank you.
And
Yeah, thanks for giving us the opportunity to share all of this as well.
Thank you. All right, guys. All right, cool. Let's find a prom or somewhere to go crash.